Shalom. Kahaloyim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakodash. Bakta Yahweh, Bakta Yahweh Shai, Bakta Hakodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakodash. Shalom, and double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops, and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Spirit jumped on me this morning to go ahead and go into a lesson entitled Eternal Victory is Coming. Wickedness is but a moment. As we're catching hell, since coming into the truth, just steadily enduring until the Messiah returns, our big brother Yahweh Shai, through the will of Yahweh. And it's very near, and it's even the average non-hopeful elect member can see it, the Gentile heathen and the ungodly two-third Israelites. Everyone know that something major is coming. You can feel it in the air. You can see it on people's faces. And the Most High is bringing down the haughty looks and the high-spirited, proud Babylonians and throughout the four corners. So we'll start here in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And we give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for bringing down this place, because of their exceedingly wicked, polluted pride and sinful deeds. And so right here it says, iniquity shall abound. And so when we get this word abound here in the Blue Letter Bible, getting the origin of the word. So it says to increase, to multiply, to be increased. So to be multiplied. So it says, and because iniquity shall increase, shall be multiplied in these last days. We see that, iniquity shall be at its all-time high and peak in the last days. So it's multiplied beyond measure now, So we'll go here to the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. This is when the Greeks came into power through their first official king was Alexander the so-called Great, they call him, right? And verse 8, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. So his four top generals divided the kingdom. Alexander, divided up his kingdom before he died amongst his four top generals. In verse 9, and that was all biblical prophecy in the book of Daniel. So reading on, that's another video though. Verse 9, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, because before the Greek Empire turned into the Greco-Roman Empire, the Greeks, they maintained that rulership of the father, the children of the father, of the kings of the fathers would inherit the kingdom, and rule through the bloodline of that man. And then when they became Romans, they changed up the game, switched up the game, that fourth beast, which were diverse from the other beast. And they were ruled through elections, which is now in America is that, Roman Empire, that fourth beast revised, reborn, the Renaissance. But reading on, it says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So it shows you the chief wicked, the highest wicked, the wicked of the earth are the Edomites, the so-called white race, because when they came into power, evils were multiplied in the earth. And so that wasn't the end days right there. So evils were multiplied then. So how much more in the last days? And we just read in here in verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because right here, when the Messiah was walking the earth 2,000 years ago, this was after the Greeks. And at this time, the Greek Empire became the Greco-Roman Empire, or just known as the Roman Empire. And so Yahushua was speaking a prophecy. If he was speaking in the future, and the evils that were multiplied, because evils were multiplied during the Greek kingdom that was a few hundred years before he had just came on the scene, right? So he's talking about evils being multiplied in the future, even more so than even right then. So it lets you know that this time is even worse. And it wasn't talking, about the Greeks, but the Greeks when they came back into rulership after the Renaissance period. In the end times, they're going to get even worse and even more wicked than that time. Hopefully that's not too confusing there, but not hopefully it's not confusing and it's plain to see that. But so we go back to this word abound here, and we get the root word right here. It says a multitude, a great number of men or things, the whole number, the whole multitude, the assemblage, the multitude of the people. So the multitude of the earth is going to wax even worse in wickedness in the last days. But this is all for a moment, because for things to get infinitely better, things going to have to get worse. As that phrase go, right? Before things get better, it got to get worse. And so the worst times ever before eternal righteousness and eternal victory in the kingdom of heaven. At the return of Yahweh Shai through the will of Yahweh. So verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So the same shall be saved. The elect, we're going to endure all of this wickedness that's surrounding us, right? The hopeful elect, Lord willing, we're of that number. So just endure, because it's only for a season of as it's called, weathering the storm, right? So you endure until the end, you're weathering that wicked storm that's surrounding us. But the elect will be saved and preserved through it all. Mandatory is a rite of passage, as they say, right? Rite of passage to the kingdom of heaven. That straight and narrow, very tight walkway into that broad place, which is what the kingdom of heaven. So now going to the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Let's see, 4:28. It says, strive for the truth unto death. That's the elect awakening to the truth and holding on to the commandments and having a faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall fight for thee. So we're going to strive into this thing unto death. Lord willing, we endure until the end to be saved. Because eternal victory is, right around the corner. And because wickedness is only for a season. Revelation 3:11. Because eternal righteousness created the earth, which is beautiful. Wickedness cannot create beauty. So the earth will abide forever, and righteousness will abide forever. But wickedness is only for a moment. Revelations 3:11. Behold, this is Yahweh Shah speaking. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So we're going to hold on to this crown the best we can, right? So that we can be saved when Yahweh Shai makes his glorious return here coming soon. So let's see. This precept just popped in my head, but it's about striving for the corruptible crown that people do in this life, but we strive for the incorruptible crown. Yeah, we'll get it right here. 1 Corinthians 9:25. And every man striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. So this is the Apostle Paul speaking about, because this is during the time of the Romans, and we know that the Romans brought in the sports and was real. They created gymnasiums and the training places. And gymnasium means to train naked. They were everything they do is very lewd and filthy, and that's why when you go to the gym today, everyone dress how? In very little clothing, very tight clothing, because this all goes back. It's just a little bit more. It's better. It's a little bit more covered up than how they used to train back in the Greco-Roman days. So it all stems from that culture. So Paul is saying that every man that's training for these sporting events, they're temperate in all things, meaning they have self-control in all things because they're training their bodies, right, to win the race. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, because just like in the NBA or pro sports, the NFL, MLB, Major League Baseball, every year, they're training all year, training in the off season, what, being temperate, getting their bodies right for the next season, and then what, to win the championship, because every year a new champion is crowned, and that's a corruptible crown. They when like the champions of this year was who in the NBA? I can't remember who won the championship. Yeah, oh yeah, the Denver Nuggets, right? So next year, that's a corruptible championship because it's going to change. If they don't win it, they have to do it all over again. If they don't win it, then they'll lose it, right? Said, but we an incorruptible crown. Well, incorruptible. So that's that incorruptible crown. And the Messiah said, what? Let no man take thy crown. That's an incorruptible crown. That's going to be for eternity. So we be temperate. We be spiritually temperate and rejecting all things of Satan and that's of the flesh, right? And we'll win that incorruptible crown. So just hang on, because this wickedness is for a moment. And we fighting this battle not through because they're striving through their own strength. They training, to their own strength and might to get their bodies as top peak condition that they can. But we're striving using spiritual tools, the commandments, and having faith, and becoming skillful in the wisdom of the Most High power of Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. So Second Corinthians 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. See, let you know right now that this is war. We're spiritual warriors. Our weapons are not fleshly, like swords, guns. They call the blickies, the sticks. We fighting through the power of our spirit and mind, through the will of Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, and the Holy Spirit. So, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, to the pulling down of strongholds. And what strongholds is that? Plantation Christianity, all these false philosophies and false doctrines of the harlot of all religions, which is the Roman Catholicism, the Roman Catholic Church, which all these modern day philosophies have spawned from. And then you also got the wicked East Hinduism and Buddhism and Islam, all of these nonsense BS man-made religions. That's foolishness, and people are just, it just creates a positive culture, and while they still being wicked and sleeping with other men's wives, and it's complete whoredom and adultery and madness. Because all that yoga stuff, wearing them yoga pants and all of that madness, it's just nothing but whoredom after all of those sessions that they do. It's complete foolishness. So Luke 10 and 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. And who is that? Satan. And who is the physical manifestation of Satan? The so-called white man. And nothing shall by any means hurt you. So, the elect will be preserved. And so we're going to have that spiritual power, we shining brighter and brighter, meaning growing in wisdom more and more, and that light shining on us, emanating from us more and more through the will of Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? Because people can tell the difference in you when you're sincere and genuine and maintaining in the faith. And nothing's going to harm us, when all hell breaks loose. We're going to go through our trials, but, we're going to be preserved through it all. Proverbs 29 and 25. The fear of man bringeth a snare. So what that fear is, the hour of temptation, which you have to be able to wave your hand to buy and sell, right? That's gonna, if you're fearing not eating, then and fearing what this devil is saying that you must do to continue in this society, then you're gonna fall into that trap of that thing that go into your hand, and once that thing go into your hand, you have guaranteed destruction of thermonuclear fire and the lake of fire coming. But whoso putteth his trust in the Lord Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, shall be safe. So you're not going, the Most High will preserve the elect from that, because they're not going to be afraid of man. The Most High did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power. And we put our trust in the Most High and not in a wicked man. That's for a moment. So Job chapter 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on earth, upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. So that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He's the wicked, pushing everything of Satan. So he's for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and what's that? His satellites going to the moon, astronauts, space stations, and military might flying through the air. The eagles, he called his Air Force, and his the aircraft, military aircraft, call them eagles and everything, right? He mount up to the heavens, and his head reacheth to the clouds. What's in the clouds? His airplanes and everything, right? Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. So now that gives you a timeline of when he's going to be brought down, because he didn't start flying until these 1900s, right? And now he's reached into the clouds with his proud military aircraft and airplanes for travel and private jets. Now the Most High about to bring him down. So verse 7, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. So when you go to the restroom and do that, right, it's gone forever. That's the same way Esau Edom is. He's dung, and he's going to be forever perished and gone. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? So he's going to be gone, because the Most High has no more use for the wicked of the earth. He was only here to chasten. He was a chastening tool by the Most High upon his chosen seed, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. So when you have a dream, 9 times out of 10, what happens? You forget that dream. And even there's some that are very memorable where you still don't remember it, 100%. But dreams, when you wake up, you remember it. Those that are impactful on your memory when you wake up. The further you go throughout the day, you forget that dream. So that same way of Babylon the Great. The Edomites are going to fade away. They're going to be no more. And shall not be found. Yeah. He shall be chased away as a vision of the night. So he's going to be gone. In verse 9, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So he'll never be seen again. And this is biblical prophecy of the wicked. There's no other nation that's pushing wickedness on the scale and level of this devil. Obadiah chapter 1, and this is it links up with Obadiah. You see, and look at the title right there. It says Edom will be humbled. Even the Edomites that be scholars and that be analyzing the Holy Scriptures can see the plainness of it. That they say, oh wow, Esau, he's going to be humbled and he's going to be destroyed. So he's going to be cut off forever. Verse 1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, the Most High Power, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So the nations have been, why are they, Why would the nations just, if Esau Edom was righteous, why would it, the nations just want to randomly rise up against Edom, the Edomites? No, it's because the Edomites have been stomping on them and oppressing them and destroying them and colonizing them, right? So now it's their time to rise up to destroy the Edomites. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, that's them in the clouds. They mount up to the heavens, right? Their head is reaching the clouds. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and the bald eagle is America's national bird, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, and the stars here is twofold. The satellites up there in the heavens amongst the stars. Then also the Israelites are the stars referenced in Revelation chapter 12. The 12 stars represents the 12 tribes of Israel. So the Edomites have us in slavery and captivity right now. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, because their nest here is chiefly in America, Babylon the Great, they slaughtered the Northern Kingdom, the Latinos, so-called Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? And then kidnapped, rounded up their Southern Kingdom brothers, so-called blacks, Jamaicans, and so-called Haitians, the tribe of Levi, tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and built their nest, built their country off the backs of the Southern Kingdom, on top of the Northern Kingdom's land over here that they stole. And that's how they set their nest among the stars, amongst the Israelites. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So the Most High is bringing them down now, exposing that man of sin, the son of perdition. And that word perdition means destruction. And so dropping down to verse 9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed. So they're warriors, so-called warriors, the military might. They shall be dismayed. They're war generals, the chiefs of staff, and they proud structure that they got. It says, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. And that mount goes into, mountains represents nations. And so the nation of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So the whole nation of Esau cut off. And why is that? Verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, the Israelites, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So because of their violence against their brother, how was the so-called white man, Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians brother? Because our forefathers was in the womb as twins, but two different manner of people. One righteous, the righteous seed, and the wicked evil seed in the same womb. So Esau, he declared from the beginning that he's going to kill his brother Jacob, and he's been doing that and just slaughtering us, and committing sin against us, and chiefly blaspheming the Most High and the Messiah. So Revelations 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit. And so, it's a different lesson, but just real quick, the Roman Empire had fell, and that's them going into that bottomless pit, the Most High casting the Edomites into the bottomless pit in those caves, and shut them up in those caves. So when cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that shows you that men's rulership or fall, there's a seal that the Most High does to allow them to succeed or fail. Because as Esau, people say, how can we've said, our people, that don't understand the truth, say the white man, all he does is evil. How can he continue to just be evil and to have no punishment coming from it? It's because the Most High have a seal around him right now to reign a little season in wickedness. And then now the Most High that seal is wearing off, and he's being exposed. And that's why all the nations of the earth are coming up against him right now. And truth is flooding the internet and the social media. Even the average person that don't know anything about the truth, they're exposing his wickedness, because that seal is leaving.